In Java, arrays also treated as object which contains element of a similar data type. In Java, we can able to allocate memory for an array only through the new keyword. Array of character is also termed as string in Java, and it is mainly used to store the text. Hello to all, a warm welcome to my new session on arrays, strings and vectors. I am Revati from the Department of Computer Science, Vidhyaashram, First Grade College, Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. In my today's session, at the beginning, I am going to deal with array. But before going to start my session, let's recall the things what I have discussed in my last session of this chapter. So, in the last session, I started with what is abstract method, what are the rules I need to follow while defining abstract method along with example. Then I covered abstract class, that is what is abstract class, rules for abstract class. Along with that, I discussed example. Along with that, I covered vectors. But in my today's session, at the beginning, I'm going to deal with what is array and the different types of array. Along with that, I'm going to deal Java string. Anyway, dear student, from the examination point of view, arrays as well as strings are very important topic. Now, let's start our session with the concept array. So, what is an array? It's nothing but the collection of homogeneous element. So what is this homogeneous element? That is nothing but the similar or same kind of element, and all the elements are stored in the contiguous memory allocation. Now, an array is a collection of similar type of element which have contiguous memory allocation. For example, think that I'm having 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So it is nothing but the group of element. And what kind of element? It is whole number. And all these numbers are stored one after another in a continuous memory allocation. And all the elements are grouped under same name, and I can able to access all these elements with the help of array name. So here in Java, array is an object. Please remember here, in Java, arrays also treated as object which contains element of a similar data type. So, in Java, array is nothing but the collection of an object and it's of same kind or same type, and all the elements are grouped with respect to object name. It is a data structure where we can able to store similar kind of element. That is nothing but the same kind of element. If I'm having character, then I can able to have only character. If I'm having integer, then I can able to have only integer. If I'm having floating point, then I can able to have only floating point numbers. Now, we can store only fixed set of element in a Java array. That means while creating an array, I want to specify the size, and whatever the size I'm going to specify, that is itself termed as fixed set of element. For example, if I specify the size 5, then I can able to store only 5 element. So, array in Java is index based. So, what is index based? Before that, let me to consider three elements, that is 1, 2 and 3. And my array name here is A. And my array index starts from 0th position and next index it is 1 and the next index it is 2. Now, this kind of representation itself called index based. That means I can able to access the element which is present in my array with the help of index or with the help of position. So array in Java is index based. The first element of the array is stored at the location 0 and the second element is stored at the location first and so on. And if I consider this diagram, see here, my array index always starts from 0 and it is n minus 1. So my first index 0 and my last index always n minus 1. Now tell me why it is n minus 1 instead of n? Because my array index starts from 0. For that reason it is n minus 1. And all the index are termed as indices, or even I can able to use the word base address or position. Now there are two type of array. Actually there are three type of array: single dimensional array, two-dimensional array and multi-dimensional array. But in Java we are going to categorize only two types, that is single dimensional array and multi-dimensional array. Now what is single dimensional array? Array with only one index or indices are termed as single dimensional array, and array with two dimension or more than two indices are termed as multi-dimensional array. Now, let me to consider the simple example that how I can able to declare array in Java. So, I can able to declare array in Java in three ways. So, at the beginning, data type, then opening and closing square bracket and array name. And if I consider second type, data type, give one space, opening and closing bracket, then array name, data type, opening and closing square bracket. For example, if I consider this one, I'll write int A. This is the first one. And if I consider second one, int A. And if I consider third one, so this is the three way I can able to declare arrays in Java. Now let me to consider the initialization of an array. So here at the beginning I'm going to have the data type along with that array name equal to new data type and size. So dear student, just remember one thing here, that in Java, we can able to allocate memory for an array only through the new keyword. When I call this new, then this new operator is responsible for allocating the memory for this array, and this is the size. For example, if I consider it is int, and I'll write array name equal to new int of 5. The size is 5. Then what is the size of integer? It is 2 byte. 5 into 2, that's 10 byte is allocated for this array. Now let me to consider simple example here, that I'm going to have 5 element. So dear student, what is my class name here? That is test array. And I'm going to have the main function in my class, and the actual execution of the program is going to start from main function. Then here I'm going to create array. See the difference here in C or C++, the way we are going to use to create array is different, and here it is different. And with the help of new operator, I'm going to allocate memory. So here, what is the size? It is 5. And what is the data type? It is integer. And integer holds 2 byte. That is 2 into 5. Total 10 byte is reserved for this A. And I'm going to assign 10 to 0th location, 20 to first location, 70 to second, 40 to third, and 50 to fourth location. And in array, we are going to have the property called length. And when I call this property in my program, it's going to return the total length of the array. And what is the total length? Here it is 5. So this for loop is going to execute 5 times, and it is going to display the value 10, 20, 70, 40 and 50. After when I become 6, that is 6 less than 5, it is false. So the control comes out of the loop. This is the way I can able to create arrays in Java. Now, I'm going to have multi-dimensional array. So what is multi-dimensional array? So here, any array with more than 2 index or indices are termed as multi-dimensional array. So here example for multi-dimensional array, I can able to consider 2-dimensional array. And if I write A of 2 into 2, this is nothing but the 2 cross 2 matrix, and my first size is always going to represent row, and my next size is always going to represent column. So here data is stored in rows and columns based on the index is also called multi-dimensional array, and it is nothing but the matrix representation. And this is the syntax I'm going to have. That means first I want to write the data type, then it is array, right? For that I want to write the array representation along with that array name. With the help of new operator, I'm going to allocate total 8 byte of memory. So here each index is capable to hold 2 byte at a time. And if I consider 2 cross 2 matrix, then I'm having 0th row and I'm having 0th and I'm having first row. And I'm having 0th column, first column, and 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0 and 1, 1. So this is the index of my matrix. Now, similar way, I'm having array, okay, in the place of 0, 0, in the place of 0, 0, I'm going to store 1, and in the place of 0 and 1, I'm going to store 2, and in the place of 1, 0, I'm going to store 3, and in the place of 1, 1, I'm going to store 4. This is the way I can able to create multi-dimensional array in Java. Now, I'm going to have string. So what is string? What is the need of string? So here strings are nothing but the sequence of character or array of character or collection of character, and it's termed as string. Now string is basically an object. That means here Java is nothing but the object-oriented programming, and in Java all the things are treated as classes as well as object. So here if I consider string, still it is an object that represents sequence of character or group of character or collection of character or array of character. So array of character is also termed as string in Java, and it is mainly used to store the text. And dear student, please make a note here. If I write any character within single quote, then this is the example for character. And if I write anything within the double quote, then it is termed as string. So these are the difference between character as well as string representation. Now, a string variable contains a collection of characters surrounded by double quote. That means to represent it a string, what I'm going to do? I'm going to write that one within the double quote. So this is the example for string. Now let me to write the syntax first. So here what is my data type? Data type is string, and what is my object name? That is S, and I want to allocate memory for the string S, and this is the way I'm going to allocate memory for this string, and I want to assign string to string object. For that reason I'm going to write these strings between double quote or inside the double quote. Now Java supports many methods to support string. Here a string in Java is actually an object which contains methods as well as some property. Along with that, it is mainly used to perform certain operation. So in Java, what is string? Strings are nothing but the object, and all the strings supports some methods, and these methods are used to perform some operation. Now, suppose if I want to get the length of the string, then I'm going to have the property called length, or I'm going to have the method called length. With the help of length, I can able to retrieve the length of given string. So here, this is the example. I'm having string, and what is my string object? That is txt. That is txt, and I'm going to place Vidhyaashram. And what is the length of this string? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So what is the length of the string? It is 12. That means this length function is going to return the value 12. And if I consider this example, see here, I'm going to have hello world. And what is the length here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to consider this white space also. So it is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So what is the length of the string is 11. Now here Java string supports uppercase as well as lowercase. That means I want to convert all the uppercase letter to lowercase, and I want to convert all the lowercase letter to uppercase. For that I'm having two uppercase as well as two lowercase methods. Now finding a character in a string. That means I want to find the location of a string. Now, index of method returns the index of the first occurrence of specified text in a string, including white space. Now, suppose if I want to know the position of a character, then I can able to use the method called index of, and it's going to return the position of a given string, and it's going to count white space also. So here, if I call this function, what is the answer I need to get? I'll start from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 and 21. What is the answer? It is 21. In the place of 21, I'm having the letter L. So it is mainly used to return the index or get the index or position of the first occurrence of a specified text. So this is the first occurrence of specified text. Now I'm having certain string methods which is supported in Java. Here I'm having two lowercase. That means I'm going to convert all the uppercase letter to lowercase. Okay. So convert all the uppercase to lowercase. And think that I'm having uppercase letter. And I want to convert all the uppercase to lowercase. That is to lower. Now I'm having all the lowercase letter. So I'm having all the lowercase letter and I want to convert all the lowercase to uppercase, that is to uppercase. And I want to compare both the strings are equal. For that I'm having equal. So it returns true if S1 and S2 are equal. That is nothing but string 1 and string 2 are equal. Then it's going to return the value true. Then length. It's going to return the length of the string and compare to. It returns negative if S1 less than S2, positive if S1 greater than S2 and 0 if S1 and S2 are equal. So dear student, compare to. So what is compare to here? It's going to compare string 1 with the string 2. But remember here, while comparing, it's going to consider the ASCII value. And whatever the ASCII value of S1 that is less than ASCII value of string 2, then it's going to return negative value. And the ASCII value of string 1 is greater than ASCII value of string 2, then it's going to return positive value. And if the ASCII value of string 1 equal to ASCII value of string 2, then it's going to return the value 0. And suppose if I want to club two strings together, then we are having concatenate function. So it's going to concatenate string 1 with string 2 and value of. So converts the parameter value to string representation. That means if I use string that is value of with the variable, then it's going to convert the parameter value to string. These are the certain methods supported by string. So, in my today's session, I started with what is an array, what are the different types of array with example. Along with that, I covered what is string, what is the need of string, how to create string, how to allocate memory. Along with that, I have covered different methods comes under Java string. I hope, dear student, in my today's session, you got more information about arrays as well as string. But in my next session, I'm going to deal with interface in Java, internal addition by the computer, the relationship between classes as well as interface, difference between class as well as interface, implementing interface as well as extending interface. So dear student, please make a note here that from the examination point of view, this interface concept is very, very important. So don't forget to watch my next session because there I'm going to deal with interface. So dear students, thank you for watching my session. Let's meet in the next session with some more information about arrays, strings as well as vectors. Thank you.